Alright guys, so this is kind of a special spin-off video that I'm making. I feel like it'll be a service to you guys because the last couple emails that I've gotten and also the last couple of labs, that I've sat through, I've noticed this problem. It's no big deal, we all make it from time to time, but I figured that it would probably be a good thing to explain to you the difference between and versus or. A lot of you guys probably are already comfortable with this, so if you are, then go ahead and skip this video. But if you need a little refresher, here we go. So, and versus or. These are really powerful statements, and they are often used in complex if statements. For instance, there might be some times where you're making multiple comparisons and you only care if one of them are true, and there are other times when you want all of them to be true. And depending on what you want determines what you're going to use, and or. So let's say that I have a 1 is going to be true and 0 is going to be false, just for simplicity's sake. So if I use or, so let's say I have 0 or 0 or 0 or 1. So remember, if 1 is true, in order for this whole thing to be true, only one piece has to be true. Therefore, this whole thing is going to be true. Now, if I do the same thing with and, this is going to evaluate to false because not everything is true. Even if I were to have something that were almost all true, such as this, one small piece of it is false, therefore the whole thing is going to be false. Now, if everything is true, then the whole thing is going to be true. And the reason I'm showing you this in particular is because of some emails that I've gotten over the letter grade to grade point average. It's pretty tricky, but it's worth pointing out. So when you're checking for input that's not valid, so let's say that I wanted to know whether or not I was A, B, C, D, or F. So basically, let's say I have something like this. If grade does not equal A, and let's just use a simpler case, or if grade not equal to B, let's pretend those are the only two grades, and I had something like print error. Okay, so let's say that I did enter an A or a B. Then I wouldn't want this to run, right? Because an A or a B is a perfectly acceptable grade. But remember what I just showed you. Because we have or in between these two, let's say that I enter A. So basically, if grade is not equal to A, if I enter an A, this small part is going to be false. But A is in fact not equal to B. So this little part right here is going to be true, and since one piece of it is true, then that whole thing is going to run. So the proper thing to do here would be to put an and between those. And that would only run if both things in this case were not true, because not true is the same as true. Hope this helped you out if you had some confusions on and versus or, and as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. See you in lab.